Hey, Mark Lyford here. I thought I would share a little story with you. 21 years ago today, I was living in the Bahamas. I was loving life. And every night that I was on the island, I used to walk my dog on a lovely beach. And business was good. And life seemingly felt perfect. But 21 years ago today, I found myself drinking straight from a whiskey bottle and knew things weren't great, and not realizing at the time that it was the start of me losing just over $4.5 million, which at the time was my entire net worth. It's a long story why that happened. I wrote about it in my book that I did about 10 years ago. But I went from just a few months prior to that, in May, 21 years ago, thinking I finally got to where I want to be in life. I was 26 years old, living this great life, had a young family, living in the Bahamas, spending time in Florida. And I actually was driving down a freeway going back to Fort Lauderdale Airport on a Thursday evening, finding myself tapping the dashboard of the car saying, I've made it. I was about to go back to the island that I used to live on, Grand Bahama Island, thinking, you've done it, Mark. Fast forward a few months, it was a Friday evening, and things started going wrong fast. And it's true to say it's been a hell of a long 21 years. That's an understatement. But what have I learned? What have I learned from the last 21 years? Well, I've learned a lot. I've learned a hell of a lot about resilience, because the 21 years ups and downs that I've had since then have taught me a great deal about resilience. It's also taught me that, when I can remember saying it on the evening that it all kicked off 21 years ago, well, it can't get much worse. It's taught me that actually things can. And where you set the level of can't get much worse can actually get far worse. At the time when you see things, everything crumbling around you, you think, well, deal with it. Well, it can't get much worse. Trust me, when you think that, most of the time it can. I've learned a lot about stress. I've learned a lot about mental health and depression. And looking back over the 21 years, if somebody had told me this is the next 20 odd years you're going to have, I wouldn't have believed them. I've learned a lot that desperate men do desperate things, silly, stupid things. I've learned that timing is everything. And I have severely screwed up my timing over the last 21 years. I don't regret all of the events of 21 years ago. What I do regret is going balls deep into one thing, and no matter what, sticking to it and not having any backup plans or other eggs in baskets or other things to do. And so I don't actually regret what led to 21 years ago and everything starting to fall down around my ears. But what I do regret is not keeping eggs in one basket, and not having other things going on and diversifying. Now, the flip side of that is you can have too many things going on, and that causes problems as well. So, where are we on the here and now? Where am I at on the here and now? Well, again, looking back today at this 21 years, I have a great relationship with my partner, Gabby, who I'm blessed to have. We've been together nearly 5 years now. And as I've said before on videos, the most supportive partner I have ever had through thick and thin. I've got a great family around me. I've got two great boys, 18 and 22 now. Time flies. And yes, I'm nowhere near, I'm still not where I want to be back in life. But I've learned a hell of a lot in 21 years. So I can't sit here now saying I've turned everything around as I want, because that wouldn't be real. But looking forward, I'm excited about things that I've got going on. The lessons of all of this are, for me, that you keep going no matter what. I have been in some pretty dark, terrible times over the last 21 years. And all I've done is just keep going, because it comes back to that. What other choice do you have? You keep going. I've never given up. I felt like it, but I have never given up. And sure, the years have took their toll. They took their toll on me mentally, but also, I guess, a little bit physically. But the years have also added a great deal of experience. And the years have not treated this shirt great either, which actually, the reason I keep this shirt, which is over 22 years old, is it reminds me of back in the day, of when all of this was unfolding. And this is actually the shirt that I was wearing when I found out that things weren't going very well. And some may say, why would you keep a shirt that's 22 years old? Well, one, it's a comfortable shirt. Yeah, it's a bit worn now, and I haven't found one that's as good, especially in the weather we've got here in the UK today. But things have took their toll. But the years give you lessons. And as long as you learn from those lessons, and I have screwed up where I haven't learned the full lessons that I've been taught, and I've screwed up again. And as long as you learn from those lessons, the years give you lessons, and the years give you experience. And also the years change your perception of life and what success means. What maybe you thought you had back then wasn't necessarily what you had. And it definitely changes your perception. But despite all the years, my determination and spirit are still there. And sure, there's been times where I felt like giving up, if I'm really honest. But those times and that feeling passed, and we crack on. Because the reality is, you keep going until you get where you want to be in life. Looking forward to the future in a ironic way, I'm excited about the businesses that I'm involved in and working on now. I've got realeNtrepreneur.com. I've got OG Crypto, which we've got some really great, exciting things going on. And actually, one of the other things that I'm working on is if it happens, and I will do my damn shorest to make it happen, may actually see me being based back in the Bahamas at least some of the time for now, and maybe permanently down the line. And I think that would be quite, I miss the place. It's a place that's dear to my heart. And I think it would be quite fitting if 20 odd years later, I end up being back over there with my crypto related businesses. So the bottom line of all of this is, if you're watching this and you're going through problems, crap, hassle, keep going until you get where you want to be in life, or you die trying. That's the reality. Because the reality is, what are you going to do? You're not going to give up. So you've got to keep going. And bad times will always pass. In business, personally, they will always pass. Trust me. I've been through some bad times in the last 21 years. And at some point, they will always pass. It might take longer than you want. It sure has for me. I can remember saying 21 years ago, give me 2 years, 3 years, and I'll get back to where things are where I want them to be. And that was foolish at the time, looking back to say, but we keep going. And timing really is everything. I look at the road of my life and I think if my timing had been better on certain things over the last 21 years, and of course my decisions around the timing, things would be very different and I would be back to wherever it is that I want to be in life. But the key ingredients are resilience, focus, timing, and never giving up. If you do those things, they're the key, as far as I'm concerned, to living the life that you want, to being the person you want, and ultimately being happy with the life you have. Thank you for watching. Catch you soon.